The Red Regulus Awakening, the convergence between Chris Bledsoe and Anthony of Boston. How Hathor's Easter prophecy and Armaras's rocket fire converge in the revived pantheon. In the shadowed convergence of ancient pantheons and modern prophecy, two unlikely voices from the American landscape, Chris Bledsoe of North Carolina and Anthony of Boston, have become vessels for a cosmic drama unfolding in real time as of April 2026. Bledsoe, the experiencer whose encounters with glowing orbs, missing time, and a radiant feminine entity known as the Lady, whom he explicitly identifies as Hathor, the Egyptian goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and the stars, have drawn the attention of NASA, the CIA, and even Vatican observers, received a pivotal message years ago. In visions tied to Easter and Egyptian imagery, the Sphinx gazing eastward, he was told that when the red star of Regulus, normally a blue-white star in Leo, appears low on the horizon in the Sphinx's gaze just before dawn, it would signal a profound shift. A new knowledge will come to humanity. He and his contacts ran astronomical models, pointing to alignments around Easter 2026 April 5th, evoking themes of revelation, orbs rising from oceans, conflict involving Iran and Israel, and an awakening that some interpret as apocalyptic in the classical sense, an unveiling. Bledsoe links the Lady across traditions, Hathor in Egypt, aspects of the Virgin Mary, the Holy Spirit, or the divine feminine suppressed in patriarchal narratives. In one regression, she appeared with bull imagery and spoke of hidden gods like Amun-Ra. Her message carries maternal, transformative energy, love, joy, and the promise of elevated consciousness amid humanity's suffering. Meanwhile, from Boston, Anthony of Boston has spent years documenting a strikingly empirical pattern. Periods when the planet Mars comes within 30 degrees of the lunar node correlates with the highest concentrations of rocket and missile fire against Israel in a given year. He has made these predictions publicly for multiple cycles, from 2020 to 2026, often with high accuracy backed by open-source data, including spikes around major escalations. Anthony frames this not as mere astrology but as the active influence of a revived deity. Armaras, a syncretic war god embodying Mars, Roman god of war, Ares, Greek god of war, and Horus, Egyptian sky god of war, often linked to kingship and the avenging eye. As of April 5, 2026, Anthony announced that Armaras is now also known as the Red Regulus. This title fuses the red planet of conflict with the red star of Bledsoe's prophecy, positioning the celestial event as a direct manifestation of martial divine will. He has constructed and shared a full revived pantheon graphic, a classical-style table merging Roman, Greek, and Egyptian deities into combined names and roles. At the top stands Armaras, a blend of Mars, Ares, Horus, titled War, Fortresses, King of Gods, Sky, Thunder. Below him sit syncretized figures like Zejapra, a blend of Jupiter, Zeus, and Amun-Ra. Her Juices, a blend of Juno, Hera, and Isis as Queen of Gods and marriage. Vener, a blend of Venus, Aphrodite, and Hathor for love, beauty, and fertility. Apalra, a blend of Apollo and Ra for sun and prophecy, and others down to Kraseb, a blend of Saturn, Cronus, and Jeb. The chart visually elevates Armaras as the central force, with icons of helmets, lightning, tridents, lotuses, and more evoking their domains. Here is where the narratives converge. Hathor as a Vener in the Pantheon graphic, or directly as Bledsoe's Lady, would have been sent by Armaras. In the revived system Anthony proposes, the Pantheon operates as a balanced cosmic order with Armaras, the Red Warrior King, now the Red Regulus, at its head. Hathor, his syncretic counterpart or emissary in the feminine column, goddess of love, music, fertility, and the Milky Way, acts as a counterbalance or herald. Ancient Egyptian lore already ties Hathor to Horus, as his mother or consort in some myths, and to Ra's eye, sometimes as a fierce protector dispatched in divine missions before softening into joy and motherhood. In this modern fusion, her appearances to Bledsoe, bringing messages of new knowledge amid looming conflict, serve as the diplomatic or revelatory arm of Armaras's influence. The red star on the horizon around Easter 2026, in the Sphinx's gaze, an Egyptian monument tied to Horus and solar kingship, is interpreted by Anthony as Armaras himself manifesting. The red planet's astrological window overlapping the stellar alignment, bringing not just rockets and earthly fire, as in his Mars node predictions, but the new knowledge Bledsoe foretold. This knowledge involves recognizing planetary deities as active forces shaping human events, war cycles, consciousness shifts, or a call to venerate the full pantheon for balance against monotheistic imbalances. Orbs rising, celestial signs, and heightened conflict become signs of the gods stirring. In this telling, Bledsoe's gentle lady is no contradiction to Anthony's martial predictions but an extension, sent by the red Regulus Armaras to prepare humanity. Love and beauty, Hathor or Ifvenor, soften the war god's edge, offering awakening before or amid the thunder of fortresses and sky. The Pantheon graphic encapsulates it, a visual covenant where Roman columns meet Greek helmets and Egyptian icons under Armaras's reign, with Hathor positioned as queenly counterpart or messenger. Whether this convergence heralds literal divine intervention, psychological archetypes manifesting through collective belief, or a profound synchronicity in a time of global tension, remains for observers to weigh. As April 2026 unfolds with its prophesied alignments, the red horizon may reveal whether the lady's new knowledge arrives as enlightenment, escalation, or both, delivered under the banner of the revived King of Gods. The graphic stands as testament. The old gods, renamed and recombined, are no longer distant myths but players in a living drama.